We are all here shooting this shit with our hosts, DJ Duss and Bamboo Bam. Let's go.
Oh, what's up? I'm your host, DJ Duss, with my co-host, Bamboo. What's up, Bam?
What up? It's good. It's good.
You know what? I let people know if you're still alive next Monday with your second vaccination. So far, so good.
Yeah. So good, man.
I like it.
We're
You
good.
didn't get sick?
No.
Nothing?
No
side effects?
No side effects.
Your wife
Just
neither?
Just a little tender here, but that's about it.
From
know
the
what I mean?
needle, maybe, right?
Yeah,
No,
that's it.
that makes sense.
You know, but other than that, everything's been fine. I mean, I ended up with a stomach problem. You know what I mean? My stomach acid was acting up, but you know that was from bad eating, bad habits of eating crap and all of that. So, you know, nothing with the vaccine. What up?
What up, Jay? How's it going, brother? Yeah, no. I'm going for my second on Tuesday.
Good. Hurry up,
Which is
get
good
it done.
because when we do the show on Monday, if I'm sick for a couple of days, no one will ever know anyways, right?
right.
We'll go from there, my man. All right, we have a special guest today.
Yes.
Pop's an artist. She's been on the Billboard Top 40. Woo. And I was listening to her stuff. Stuff's very, very good. I'm super excited to get her on. Let's get her on. Bayla, what's up? How you doing?
What up?
How are you guys?
Good.
So we were talking backstage, and you've told me that you guys are opened up pretty much fully. So
Yeah, it's starting to open up here in Montreal, which is really exciting. Yeah, it's looking to be, I think, a cool summer, honestly.
you know what? Thank God it's the summer, right? Like, if they would have said, nah, we're going to wait till after the summer, I would have been super depressed, you know?
Absolutely.
Did you have a prediction earlier on when COVID started, when this would have ended? Did you have a prediction?
Just based off of, like, historical facts,
Yes.
like, this is going to be a 2-year ride. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just based off of also, like, thinking about, like, the Spanish flu and, like, just looking into some other pandemics, I'm like, we're in for a long while.
See, I was like, you know how wrong I was?
Thinking that.
What'd you think, Bam?
I was thinking 6 months.
6
You
minutes?
know?
I was like, oh, they're going to wait till after Canada Day. And not this Canada Day. Last Canada Day. I was like, we're not going to get together. They're going to make sure we're not going to be in crowds and, wait till after Canada Day. Things will be good. And yeah, but you know what? If you get to know me a little better, I'm usually wrong at everything anyway. So my prediction was obviously wrong. I was based off, like, I got prepared for the 1 year. And then I got past that 1 year and I was starting to get a little itchy now. You know, man, like the vacation and
Yes.
we haven't been anywhere. And they're like, come on, open up.
Yeah,
now.
no,
Open up.
real.
No, it was pretty difficult. In Quebec, we weren't allowed to walk outside.
So what would happen? What would happen if you get caught walking? Was it a fine?
Yeah, it was like a $3,000 fine, like something absolutely ridiculous. Like nobody wanted to take the chance. But yeah, it was absolutely insane. Like it honestly was very hard this winter with that curfew. But
God.
yeah, it's like
The cops are coming. I'll turn it into Donovan Bailey. Start running, man.
I'm telling you.
I was like,
after taking my walks, all I have left.
Man, they took everything from everybody. So you stuck in the house with someone you don't like. You know what I mean? It's terrible.
that's just you. That's just you, Bam.
Well, you end up not liking the person. You're cool with the person. You know, if you got a roommate or whoever, you know, your mom, your dad, you know, oh, everything's fine, And then, you know, if you're stuck in the house with them for an extreme amount of time, you start to look at them sideways like, why'd you have me? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't pick you. You know what I mean? I don't like you, you know? So, I don't know, because I would have been looking at my daughter like, man, I want to choke you. I want to choke you good.
COVID has brought out some interesting parts of us. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
But like, let's get right into it. Tell me a bit about yourself.
My name's Bayla. I'm a musical artist from Montreal. I'm a singer-songwriter. I do pop music. I'm just writing as much as possible these days for both myself and for some other artists as well. Doing a little bit of co-production here and there as well. So I'm an artist. Yeah.
Okay.
Born and raised in Montreal?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All over the place, I see.
From the
all
West
over the-
Island, from the west part, which is why I'm like super English. People are like, "Oh, but you're English." I'm like, "Yeah."
You noticed? Okay, I travel to. I love Montreal, right? So it's my second home. I love to visit. It's so close to Ottawa, and people are always like, "Oh, man, you gotta." I can speak French. I can get by very well, but everyone's like, I never needed to break out to speak French in Montreal. Like, I don't. I'm like, no, it's not like. Don't get me wrong. I've been to Laval where they judged my English. I'll tell you that right now. But I mean, when I was in downtown Montreal, Everything was good. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
I go to Montreal. I don't see too much of a problem. I get people talking about how they say the French are rude, you know, and I take offense to it. Like I look at the people and go, oh, the French are rude. I go, why?
They haven't
Oh,
been
they
to
don't want
Toronto.
to. You know, they go, oh, they don't want to talk to you in English and shit. You know, they know English, but they want you to talk to French. I said, listen, if a French person was to see you in your country, he's going to talk to you in English, right? So if he took the time out to learn your fucking language, why don't you take the time out to learn his? Yeah?
Right.
How about that?
True,
You know what I mean? So he's not being rude. He just want a little fucking respect. You get what I'm saying?
True enough.
That's all. You know. So you know, like I said, I've been in Canada a long time, and I didn't know French. So when people talk to me in French, it drives me nuts. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? What is he saying? Talking about me? Talking about him? I don't know what's going on. So now I'm picking up here and there and stuff like that. So it's fine. It's fine. You know, we was on vacation. We had drinks with a French guy who didn't speak English at all,
Cool.
all night long, to the point where the man fell out his chair.
I was the translator.
You know, had the best time ever. You
Yeah,
know what I
he
mean?
was the
Best
best.
time ever with this man. You know. Now, who or what influenced you into being an artist?
I don't know. I think it was just like my exposure to music growing up. I would say that like my favorite toy when I was a child was my dad's stereo system, but I wasn't allowed to touch it, and it was not home, and it was like a secret. Because like when I was really young, I would drop pennies into his amplifier, and he didn't like that very much. So yeah, it was like hands off, you know. But yeah, like my favorite thing to do after school and stuff was just come home and like listen to music and like dance in my living room and just sing. And it was honestly like, you know, some of my first memories of listening to music and falling in love with music, actually.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then it just kind of happened naturally, right? Like I don't really feel like I never decided to do this. It just kind of happened, which I feel like is what happens to most artists. And naturally just started writing music. People started hearing it. I kept it a secret for a really long time. My
I
parents
was going to ask you that. I was like, were you shy at first? Because I was
so shy. Like I was the kid in class that would give like, you know, like when you have to like speak in front of your class.
Oof,
Right.
I would be the one shaking and like holding my cue cards. Like I had a nerve problem, that's for sure. And so it took me a long time, and I kept it a secret from my family for a long time. Like I think my mom only found out that I could sing really when I was maybe like 15 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was always like something that I did secretly and on my own. When people weren't home or people weren't around.
It's funny how things work out. I was the loudest guy in class, but when you gave me those cue cards to talk in front of the class, yeah, wasn't. You know what I mean? Because you have to write speeches when you were kids, right? And it had to be a certain amount of time. At my house, it was 3 minutes. In front of the class, it was 1:20. That's how fast I went through. You know what I mean? Like, you get all nervous, and the older I got, the more I realized, like, how stupid was I? Why wouldn't I just not be relaxed? You know? Like,
yeah. No, absolutely. Like a lot of that stuff. I mean, I guess for me, I probably learned a lot from just exposing myself to being nervous.
Yeah.
That eventually it just like kind of went away, but it did take a really long time. I was nervous for a very long time.
Yeah, I had to MC some weddings when I was DJing, and that's when you had to like really had to like stick it in gear and be like, oh, I have no, like, I can't just fumble this. This is a job, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
but I got fumbled into it though, guys. Like it was one of like I said, who's your MC tonight? And they said you, and I went shit. You know what I mean? Like, because I had a partner, Jesse, and he usually was our MC when we'd be together, but we were separated in 2 different events. And then I was like, God damn, all right. And then there was games and stuff I had to host, and you just have to learn to say fuck it.
Yeah.
Literally, I was just like,
you have to go with it, right?
Yeah. So you're breaking out. Your mom finds out around the age of 15 that you're, you know, writing music and, you know, loving it. But how old were you when you took it seriously?
So, I mean, it's funny because I always took it seriously. And actually, before releasing music under Bayla, I did release a couple albums, and I like did some more singer-songwriter, like folky pop. And so I think it was just like I was young and I started doing it, and then everything kind of like everything led to another. And a lot of people look at everything and they kind of feel like, you know, some of the things that I've been able to achieve, they see it as something that happened overnight. But like I literally started working at this when I was 15 years old. So yeah, I mean, I guess I started taking it seriously right away. But it was not until I released Turn It Around in late 2016 that I guess that recognition started to happen.
Yeah, you got on YouTube. It's like what, over 125,000 hits. That's amazing.
Nice.
That's gotta be a great feeling. That's some great traction there for sure.
Yes, that was the first release that I did under Bayla, and everything has just like, I don't know, everything just kind of worked itself out ever since. Yeah.
That's dope.
Good. Do you find it harder, for a woman to break out in this music industry?
I mean, it's definitely interesting that you asked that, because I noticed that I'm very often the only woman in a session, in a studio, even like as a producer, it's crazy how few women there are.
There is, There is a few, like, it's male-oriented majority of the music business,
Exactly. And so, like, I don't know if it's like harder being a woman, but like there definitely is more of an expectation on how you're supposed to look and all of that kind of stuff, which is another set of bullshit that goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting being like the only woman, or like walking in a studio and like I've literally been on stage doing a sound check, and like the sound engineer is like trying to explain to me how to plug my guitar in, and I'm like,
that's so stupid.
And I'm like, obviously, like I know how to plug my guitar in, and like they just sometimes look at me like I'm on stage, like I don't like I show up, and they're like, they don't expect me to be the artist, because I guess it's just like less common to be playing instruments on stage or something. But it's kind of hilarious. And I've called them out on it. It's
Good.
not, yeah.
You know what? You should start get yourself a video guy, have him videotape all that shit, and start putting them on fucking TikTok and all that shit. Idiots. You know what I mean?
Like, when you see a woman show up at an event, that doesn't come through my mind? Does it come through yours? No, I don't understand. It's funny because there is people like that. She doesn't know what she's doing, or look, she looks cute. You know what I mean? Oh, she looks cute being on stage. Like, it's so stupid. And
or like I'll come on stage and like I might do like my vocal check first.
Yeah,
and they'll assume that I'm done. I'm like, no, like now I'm gonna check my electric guitar, and I'm gonna check my keys, and like they're not expecting that. And so it's definitely, there's a lot of like mansplaining that goes on, not gonna lie, especially like in the show atmosphere. But yeah, it's definitely interesting from that perspective.
Bam, you want to ask her about the sound guy question?
I do. I really do. Do you want to punch the fucking sound guy in the face, man? Because I do every fucking time. You understand? Sitting there telling me, turn the fucking mic up. I can't hear myself. No, you're gonna blow the speaker. Listen, I will kick your ass, man. Do you want to beat him up? Because I do. I always.
You know what I do? I kill them with kindness. That's my strategy. Is I kill them with kindness, because if you're kind to the sound guy and you need something. You can get it if you really.
There you go.
Learn,
Bam.
Strategy. You have to be really respectful. You have to be polite, and like I feel bad for some sound guys who clearly don't want to be there. Like, you can tell the difference between the ones that like want to be there and don't want to be there. But you just like, I mean, I respect them. Like, they're doing a very important job. Without them, I would sound like shit.
See, now there's the question at hand. Are you sure about that? Because you're there, and okay, so let's hypothetical. Sound guy there, and you still sound like shit. So now, who are you blaming?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the sound guy, right? Like,
all right.
It's there has been times where like the mix has been off, or things like that. But
that's something that came from your end. But your shit is all together. It's good to go. All he got to do is level you out. You understand what I'm saying? But your music is up here and you're down here, and you're like, please turn it up in the middle of your show, and he looking at you like he's a retard. Like, stop the fucking show, go slap him in the face.
It's always good to have someone there to, at least during sound check, to kind of be like in the room and like helping guide. Because sometimes, I mean, it depends where you go, but like sometimes I play a festival and like the sound guy doesn't know who I am or like what music I'm about to play. And so it's like, sometimes you need to explain to them, hey, like we're going to have sequences, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, but like don't put the guitars too up front because this is a pop project. And you have to like communicate. And as long as you're prepared and you have all the stuff ready to go. Like it's you find a way to navigate it. That's
All
for
right,
sure.
I'm gonna try to be nice once.
It's because Bam tried to like recruit me as a sound guy.
You know,
I remember
All I need
he's
to
like,
stand-
come DJ, be my sound guy, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. He's like, and then that's when I knew he had a problem with the sound guy. He's like, no, you need to go there because I'm gonna punch sound guy in the face. And I was like, and he doesn't talk like that normally. I was like, huh? I'm like, what the hell is this guy's problem?
all you have to do is stand behind him while I'm doing the sound check. Everything sound good. You see where the levels are. You know where the levels are. Boom, done. When the show is going, and I go turn up the mic, whatever, and you notice he's got it down 3 or 4, you tap him on the shoulder, turn that up to 10. You know what I mean? So you know. So he's like, shit, I got to do my job now because someone's over here watching me. You know what I mean? So,
I get it.
you know, I'm just saying.
So Bayla, let's talk about you meet a group of people at a party,
Like
and
me.
and we let everyone know that you're a pop singer and and you have some great music. What song would you recommend them to hear right away to turn them into a fan?
I think Turn It Around. Like I feel like Turn It Around is just a song that like anyone who hears it for some reason, like they always say that it's like an infectious track that like it gets stuck in their head the first listen. It's
amazing.
a positive song. Yep. There's like some cool like mottos in there for life. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably the one. Yeah, it's just like it's a good feel good song.
I agree. Because we always ask this question because people's, they have that short attention span, right? You have to hook and reel within seconds, right? And you're right. With Turn It Around, I have to absolutely agree with you. It'd be that one track that catch their attention and bring them in. Absolutely.
Exactly. And like I actually would normally respond with some of my unreleased music, but I know that's not possible right now, but it will be coming out in the future. And then my answer to that might change.
That's dope. Okay, cool.
Okay, here you go with the flow. Tell us more. Tell us more about your live performance at the Canadian Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah, that was insane. That was like, I guess like one of the last shows that I was able to do before COVID. So like, honestly, it was like one of the most incredible nights ever. Just like performing for a room of those people, like that was like insane. Like I went on stage right after David Foster, which was like insane to me. And it was just like a crazy night. Like it was just like the people, like I was in the hall after and Will Arnett came by and was like, hey, you sounded so great. And I was like, oh my God, it's Will Arnett. But it's like, it's just crazy to be in a room of all those people who are like super successul in the entertainment industry and like just be performing for them. Like that was.
How'd you get that gig? How did that come about?
So I was selected as the grand prize winner for the Canada's Walk of Fame Emerging Musician Program in 2019. And so because of that, they invited me out to come and perform at their award show. So that was that. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, even after, actually, I got a video back with my performance of the night. And at the end, like Chris Hadfield is just clapping at me and like whistling. I'm like, oh my God, it's Chris Hadfield. So it was like that. Actually, that part of the video of the performance is my favorite part.
There you go.
So awesome.
And yeah, so and then that kind of also sparked some other opportunities. Andy Kim saw me perform there and I met him and he's such an incredible guy. And he invited me out to play at his Christmas show shortly after that. So that was also crazy. I played on stage. Like actually I was with Tom Cochran and he was like the sweetest person I've ever met. Like honestly. So honestly, all of that, all the Canada's Walk of Fame stuff just kind of like honestly in my mind is some of the best memories I've made like in the music industry. And like I'm so grateful to have been a part of that. Yeah.
I like that. Do you have any other
making me happy?
Do you have any other favorite performances besides that one?
Yeah, actually one of my favorite performances was in 2017. I performed at a festival in all of places. It was in Timmins, Ontario.
Yeah.
Timmins.
And all, so like out of all places. And I was playing a festival. It was just Simple Plan, Lights, and myself. And that was just like such an incredible show. Both Simple Plan and Lights were like some of my like musical heroes growing up. And so just like performing with like basically with them was like insane. And then like after that, like I hung out with Lights a little bit. We went to go to an arcade. We played some video games together. So again, like honestly, sometimes things just happen, and they're incredible memories. So just to perform in front of those guys, like not just like the audience that was there, but just like
Yeah.
to to be with your musical heroes and like get to meet them, and these are some people that have inspired me as an artist. So
That's
Get,
so cool.
get to pick their brain a little bit.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
you learn
yeah,
a lot doing that.
yeah. Are you currently signed to a label, or you want to be independent?
So I've been independent up till this point. I'm signed to management
Mm.
here in Montreal, and yeah, it's been interesting, like being an independent artist. Obviously, there's like it's like perks of like having more creative control
Mm.
and doing things that you want to do in your own
Yeah.
way.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like I'm at a place now where I've built things up to a point where now I feel like it would work to have a label. Like I feel like
Okay.
as an independent artist, you need to build something. You can't
Mm.
just go to a label. Like otherwise, like what are you offering them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I
Like
kind
a
of
job
feel like,
resume, right? Like,
yeah, I kind of feel like now, like if there was like the right fit, now
Mhm.
would be the time where I would be open to that. That's for sure.
Ben, what are you disagreeing with?
No, the thought of like a job resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
'Cause-
you need to build a little something. At least you can come in there. It'll be harder for them to change her. Is what I'm like.
Mhm.
You know
yeah,
what
no,
I mean?
I get
If
that.
you get her from right from the start, then they're gonna, you know what I mean. Now I'd be like, nah, I got some traction by being who I am. Leave
Yeah.
me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? That's what I see here.
I get it. I
Yeah,
get
and
it.
and also like I think as an independent artist, like at least for me, I've been really fortunate to have. I feel like I've kind of cracked the code for like
Mm.
how I'm supposed to release music. Like
Right.
what I do is not necessarily going to work for another artist, but like I
True.
know that for me, my music, like I'll hire a radio tracker, I'll have a PR. Like I know like what the pieces are that I
Mhm.
could continue doing this independently, and like I've figured out what's worked and what doesn't. But absolutely, like it all depends on the deal, right? Like I've had conversations with labels, and it all comes down to the deal. Like I don't want to sign to a deal just to sign to a deal. Like I don't want to sign just to sign, because a lot of artists do that, and actually a lot of my friends have done that, and it does not turn out very pretty.
What's the deal breaker in a deal?
I think it's like trying to figure out like a mutual situation of like what the plan's gonna be, right? Like
Yeah.
if a label wants to sign me and then shelf me, and like I'm not gonna be able to release music, like hell no, right?
True.
But it's
true,
like
true.
if they want to release like like I don't know, if they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna release 3 singles and then we're gonna release an EP, and there's like
Yeah.
a plan, then that's great. And obviously, how they want to go about like producing or like marketing, super important as well.
What's their thought about doing that? Because Lady Gaga was on the shelf, and Akon's the one that got her off.
Mhm.
Got her out of the, like, what's the point of signing someone and throwing them on the? I don't get it.
Control.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, okay, so one of my theories on this is that, let's say there's a label that's pushing an artist similar to you, okay, and
Yeah.
you're unsigned.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they just sign you and shelf you so that their artist that they're pushing would like be
Wow.
more
It's,
successful
con-
because they block,
it's control.
Right?
They controlling the market.
Right.
That's all they doing. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I said, since this pandemic, all these independent artists coming out now, and it sucks because, like I said, everybody keeps saying the music is saturated. The music is saturated right now, which is fine. Good. Saturated like a motherfucker. Now, who's going to be the cream of the crop now?
yeah.
That's where it comes from. Now, who's got the triple threat? Who can get the business? Who can get the charisma? Who can get the fucking songs out
Yeah.
and catch everybody's attention? And once you do that, then you can say you the king or queen of whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
you don't
see
need
your
a label to push that for you, because all they're gonna do is say, "Hey, I like you. Come sign over here. I like you. Come sign over here." Shelf, 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 shelf. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Wait a minute. What happened to all that competition I had?" You know what I mean? Because listen to the radio. How many songs you hear on the radio?
6.
Okay, so you got 6 songs on the radio, 6 different record labels. How many artists on each label that they have, man?
Lots.
You know what I mean?
lots, Lots.
How
yeah.
many of them you think are
Hard.
shelved? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Exactly. That's why it's like super important that like the deal is right, the fit is right, the people are right. Like,
Mhm.
you know, like I've had my fair share of experiences with this kind of stuff, and like it's really like a marriage. Like it has to be the right fit. So
Yeah.
you know, if your you know, plans, your goals all line up, it could be the perfect marriage,
Yes.
right? But it could also end really terribly. So you need to trust your gut and kind of like I don't think that should be any artist's goal ever. I think it
Yeah.
should be something like, if it happens and it makes sense, like it can happen, deal with it then. But like in the meantime, just like keep making your music and keep pushing and keep doing everything that you possibly can
There you go.
to do what you need to do, right?
Mhm.
So it's definitely an interesting thing that a lot of artists, you know, strive to be signed, but it's all
Yeah.
about the deal.
True enough.
it.
Now, can you name some of the producers that you're currently working with?
Yeah, so actually, one of my good friends, Luca, he goes by Luca the producer. He's one of my closest collaborators these days. But all that stuff hasn't been released yet, so fingers crossed, it's gonna happen soon. But yeah, so Luca and I have been like in the studio a lot. Actually, just had a session with him today. We finished a new track. And yeah, so he's one of my closest collaborators. It's like such a pleasure working with him. And some of the music that I have out so far, if you guys listen to it, there's someone named John Nathaniel. So he produced those tracks. And he and I also work super well together. We get each other creatively.
Nice.
And then that's also super important, that you work with collaborators that get you, right? So I've been very fortunate in the producer department, that's for sure. And actually these days I've been starting a lot of productions on my own, and then I just bring them to a producer afterwards to finish it.
Damn.
So I've been doing a lot of production. I have a little studio in my home and just like doing it, you know?
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Talking about this industry, is there one thing in this industry that you would change?
I mean, if there was something in the industry that I would change, honestly, it would probably be like how the industry sometimes treats emerging artists, you know? Like there are times where, you know, things are for emerging artists and it's like it's great. Like they're helping. They want to find you, they want to help you, but it's like it's very hard to find those opportunities. And I just wish that the industry in general would be like a little bit more open-minded to emerging talent, whether that was for like bigger shows and like just helping emerging artists a little bit more and not seeing them as like, oh, they're just starting out. Because like you can stay an emerging artist for many, many years, especially today when there's so many artists releasing music. Everyone has access to like production studios. It's like there's so much more like oversaturation in the market, but it's like it is really hard to actually get out of the emerging artist category. And I did an interview with someone on Sirius, and he asked me, he's like, Bayla, like, you know, like I've heard of you for so many times over the last few years. Like, how does it feel to still be emerging? Like, when will you not be emerging anymore?
He asked you that?
Wow.
God damn.
And I was like, yeah, that's true. But it's like the music industry has changed so much. And like I've been in the music industry during the transitional period from like from when I started to now. It's like so much has changed. And so being an emerging artist is really hard to get to that next level, because there is all of that complication of like how people are consuming music and how you're earning money from music. Like it's kind of a little bit of a shit show, actually, right? Like with streaming and like it's impossible to rely on streaming as a source of income, right?
No,
it's impossible.
Terrible.
It's impossible. And then like if you have your music on like YouTube and stuff like that, like you basically get nothing. So it's like even worse, but it's basically the same because you already get basically nothing elsewhere. But
we did some math. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Exactly. And then add the complication of being an independent artist and being the person driving and doing everything behind everything. So like to recoup your investment, it's hard and it takes time. And I think that's why some of my music, it's taken time in between some of the songs, because I've had to like deal with that reality as an independent artist as well, right? Like everybody else. But that's true. Absolutely.
It's a struggle and a half, because I find like there's the balance of actually living, which people have day jobs, and then taking their music career seriously, which is an investment in themselves, obviously, studio time, productions, equipment, etc. So it is so tough. And then it's like you do everything that you can, and then it's like I don't know. I find you're right. They need a better platform or something that's given out, because there's so many great artists out there. Like,
Well, yeah,
like I'm gonna tell you, we had some guys that we had on here before. Andrew Winter and Caleb Simmons, and they sent me a song. They're like, "Can you get it played here in Ottawa?" I was like, "I'll give it a shot." I met these radio station people before, right? And they're like, "Oh, we like the song, but you can probably get it played on that, like that cable TV radio." And I was like, "The shit that you're playing on the radio station right now is garbage." You know what I mean? And these guys are from Canada, and you won't my head can't wrap itself around. It drives me insane. Yeah, and I find our own radio stations don't even help out us local or Canadians enough. It drives me bananas.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, like, I'm super grateful for like the support and the pushes that I have had. And actually, I recently was selected for the TD Incubator for Creative Entrepreneurship program. So that's another push for the emerging artists here. But like, I'm very fortunate to have like been a recipient and to have support from these initiatives. But I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more done. For emerging artists, and even like from the festival's perspectives, like, again, I've been super fortunate like to be chosen to perform at festivals across the country, but there needs to be some more, because sometimes I'm like one of the only ones that I'm there, and it's like, why is there not more? Like, why is there not more help? Why is there not more support? And why, even going back to the label question, there isn't that much like labels can do for emerging artists until you get to a certain point. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard sometimes, but you just gotta like know the industry, and you have to know how it works. You have to find a way.
It's tough, but you're right.
It's true. It's hard to know the industry, and to be honest with you, right now you said the push. You need the push. You need the backing, and to be honest with you, everybody is bypassing the DJs. Stop bypassing the DJs. They are the key. They the key keepers. You know what I mean? Because if your song is blowing up in a club across Canada, it's going to end up on the radio.
And as a DJ, I'm going to tell you this. If you give the DJ your song and he doesn't play it, don't take it personal. All right? Because back in the day, that's how it worked. Like, a DJ would be like, "Nah, I don't want to play your shit." And they didn't take it personal. They went back and made another one. Maybe this is the one, right? But you're right. When they do find some songs that are good, you're like, "Damn, I'm going to play this." You're absolutely right.
And you got to play it across. And the radio person, what is this song when they're in the club? I'm going to play this tonight. You know what I mean? And it'll get you right past. You'll bypass a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because the record label will make you popular, get your face everywhere. People will see you. And then, the festivals will be like, "We want her because we see her, da-da-da." But if you get past that stage, boom, start
you
there.
can force it down people's throats. A different way. You're right.
You just got to go different routes. Sometimes you got to go different routes because, like I said, the DJs are the ones who's on the front lines. If you get them behind you, every once in a while a DJ show up at the radio station. "Oh, we got a guest DJ from whatever city."
That's true.
He's gonna play your song because he plays it in the club and it's bumping, right? So
that's right. That's right.
And that's so important to me, because like part of why I do this is to connect with people, and like that includes the radio hosts, right? Like, it's super important to me whenever I release music to radio. Like, I do a radio tour. I go across the cities, and I meet with the radio hosts, and I meet with the music supervisors. Like, I love that. I love being able to meet the people that are on the other end, right? Like, it's such a digital world, and we're always like, COVID definitely made that even more so a thing. But like, we're always like living, especially as artists, like we're putting out this thing into the world, and we don't actually really get to see or meet the people that are on the other end very often. So it's super, super important. And so like, even if you're playing shows and stuff, like you have to go that extra step and meet as many people that are involved as possible.
Even as a DJ.
Side question.
Yes.
These people on the other side that you're talking about, the radio people, what makes them qualify to be in that position?
The fact that they are, that's about it.
You get what I'm saying? Like, really, what makes your knowledge of music more important than mine? You didn't create it. I did, so I should know the value of my music, but I can't get on the radio because if you like it or don't like it, it don't make no
It's
sense to me.
interesting. Like it's very. I feel like radio is very, especially for pop, it's a little bit different. Maybe like I mean, I know in Canada, if you hire a radio tracker and your song, and if they like the song, they'll play it. So it depends. Obviously, there's going to be some people that don't like it. You can't please everybody. But you just have to try, right? And that's
I get it, but I just don't understand why they in that particular position.
Bam
You get what I'm
hates
saying?
the gatekeepers.
Well,
yeah.
they shouldn't be there, man. You know what I mean? They really
Well,
shouldn't
someone
be
has to be there somehow.
I guess that's true. Someone has to be there. Someone has to be overseeing. Someone has to be a music supervisor. But yeah, I do see what you're saying.
But bam, because what it is with the radio has sponsorships, you know, with a certain style of music. So they have to filter through this stuff. I see what you're saying.
Exactly.
Who the fuck's this person going to tell me my shit's not good or whatever it is? I get it. But again, you can't let it wild free and have all sorts of shit being played on the radio neither.
Well,
Yeah,
see, but it goes back to the fact of he wouldn't have a fucking radio station if we wasn't making the shit. You see what I'm saying? So how dare this motherfucker make money? How, you know, sorry, I'm just going sideways. How dare this motherfucker make money off of everybody else in the industry that's making music? You understand what I'm saying? And then got the nerve to go, well, I don't like your stuff. I'm not going to play your stuff. No, play it, motherfucker. Shut up. Because no matter how you look at it, we giving you the content for you to even have a platform. You get what I'm saying? Because if all musicians stop making music, what is the music supervisor going to do?
Yeah.
He has no job, bro. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I feel like radio is complicated, but like I've had such a great experience meeting people at radio. Like I've never met anyone who was like, "Oh, your songs suck" or anything like that. Like
I'm not saying these guys are assholes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they're in a position where they know they can make people's dreams come true, and it being very. And I understand where you're coming from too, Joe. You know, we gotta filter through some stuff, but I mean,
it's money. It's sponsorships, right? That's how the radio stations are ran.
You know, but you gotta be able to say, look, we got all this time. You know what I mean? You got a lot of time.
It's
you
true.
know what I mean?
It's true.
Well, actually, I feel like what you said is true. Like I feel like in a way, someone that I know at radio did kind of help make my dreams come true because Turn It Around was selected for the iHeartRadio Future Star. And that was my entry into the radio. And so that, like you said, like they really do have that power way. And like, again, I've been fortunate and grateful to have like experienced that support. And
I'm not bagging on them. I'm not bagging on the people, you know.
I know.
Hopefully they like me and put me on the radio, but
true.
whatever.
But it's true. They really do have a lot of power to help some artists out. And it's such an interesting industry that I feel like is also in a transitional period, right? Because there's so many less people listening to radio these days.
There you go.
And so I do see their struggle as well. And like, I would be worried a little bit that radio is going to disappear in my lifetime, you know, like
Well, I hope so.
With the way everything is working out. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle for them, I think, as much as the music industry is right now.
No, I totally agree with that.
You know.
Yeah.
Bayla, what separates you from every other artist out there?
Oh man, that's a hard question to answer. What separates me? I don't know. I think it's probably just like my music. Like I try not, like I do pop music, but I'm not trying to sound like anyone specifically.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree.
Like some of my influences go back to like Fleetwood Mac,
Nice.
and like Bit Naked. Like
Yeah.
I'm coming and like Paramore, and like you know, like Blink-182. Like I grew up listening to that kind of music,
Yeah.
and I liked a lot of rock music, and so I feel like as an artist doing pop, just trying to bring in those other influences. That's probably what makes my music a little bit different than I guess everything else you're hearing on Spotify these days on the pop playlists. So yeah, I hope people can hear a little bit of that rock element.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I would say that, and then also just the fact that I've been at this, and like my ambition and my drive has never seemed to diminish at all.
Good.
Yeah, word. You know, what's the biggest struggle in being an artist today? You know?
I think, well, there's two things. One, financially, is like if you're an independent artist, like there are a lot of costs associated to like producing and releasing high quality music. And like trying not to cut corners while doing that. So like one, I would say financial backing is difficult, but you have to find a strategy that works for you as an artist. And when you find that strategy and it works, you just keep going with it. And then the other thing is just like in a world where like there's so much content, right? Like people have ADD. Everyone's like watching a new video every 10 seconds. So it's just like grabbing people's attention, but like the right people. Like I don't want everyone's attention. Like I want to find my audience, and I want to target the people that will like my music, you know? Like I'm not trying to target everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But trying to reach those people authentically without trying to like grab their attention by doing like TikTok trends and making music that's just like for shock value or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, one of the hardest things, because there's so much noise and you really have to break through it, and you have to find a way to reach your audience authentically that actually works with who you are. And you don't want to like, you know, you don't want to like mess around with your integrity and who you are to just like get noticed or something like that. So it's difficult. It's an interesting workaround for sure.
Do you find like making a music video, a proper music video, definitely helps you?
It definitely helps bring people in. For like, you know, people obviously, again, people are used to seeing, you know, videos after video, content after content. There's just so much of it. So to just release a song that only, you know, deals with audio and like your sense of hearing, it's like, I feel like in this day and age, it's not enough. Like,
I agree.
Right? You need something visual. And if you don't have something visual, like some people, it could be the best song in the world, but someone's not going to take the time to listen. So I think music video, like for me at least, I mean, I'm also a very visual person. I love making music videos. I'm always like really like focused on finding a concept and a vision and all of this stuff. It's so much fun. But by doing that, you're really helping people like want to listen and want to care. Because
I think the video, it makes me watch, right? So while I'm watching, I'm not listening for 10 seconds. I'm actually going through the whole track now. There's an attraction to it. I always tell people, make the music videos. It makes my dad's not a big hip hop fan, but you know, Bam edited a video with him and one of the rappers from Russia, and my dad got caught watching the whole thing, thinking it was so cool. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like it caught a 68-year-old man's attention on a rap song. You know what I mean? And it was a video. But if it would have just been the song in the background, or you know, the lyrics on the YouTube video, 10 seconds, 15 at the most. Yeah.
So on a side note, for me, I want to know your creative approach to creating a song.
Okay. Well, I definitely usually start with like, I have two ways of, I either pick up my guitar and write the song and then produce it. But lately, in the last couple of years, more often than not, I'm like working on the music first, and then I'm going into the mic and I'm just like gibberish melodies. I'm just saying stuff that doesn't make sense, and I'm just getting a feel for like the melodies. And once I figure out what the melody is, I write lyrics. And so that's been the way I've been doing it lately. And yeah, just kind of, I find it, I don't know, it opens up, because I used to write music, just like pick up my acoustic guitar, write my songs. Those songs end up sounding a little bit more sad, a little bit more depressing. And,
is it a feeling because you're going with a feeling at the moment? Is that why?
Yeah, it's like I'm also like, I find when I'm doing songwriting that way, it's like I'm focused more on the lyrics in the moment rather than like the vibe. It's more about like the story. When I do it the other way, which is like more production heavy, I'm trying to get a vibe. And like, I'm all about like making music that's positive and stuff that's like gonna, when someone listens to it, it's gonna help them. I want my messages to be helpful. So sometimes when I'm doing it that way, like I'm able to get my messages across a little bit better because I'm like focused on the vibe, and like the melody is so important to like grab the attention. And I'm more focused on just like getting what are my first instincts out of the melody, and then I can just like easily write lyrics really quickly. Yeah.
I like that. Good question, man. I like that one.
Yeah, no, just because everybody, I mean, you know, me, it's the music. You know, I hear the music and okay, I know what I'm feeling, so I write what I'm feeling from what I got from the music.
Exactly.
You know, I can't create music. I wish I could create music like you sit and play guitar, create music. That'd be because it'd give me a whole different feeling too, right? So It's just one of these days. One of these days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
So that's one of the tricks, right? So it's like when I used to just like pick up my guitar, like that was the only way I would do it. I just was going off an acoustic guitar, which already sounds kind of sad. And so like just starting with like a drum beat or like a drum loop just like puts you in the right mindset to like write something that's like more upbeat, right? So I really like to start with percussion a lot of the time.
Cool.
So Bayla, is there any artists or other producers you would love to collab with in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Julia Michaels is an incredible writer. I would love to just like have the chance to sit in on a session with her, you know, just like listen to her write. Cause like I feel like songwriting is my first love. And I would love to also explore writing for many other artists. Cause there's only so much you can do as an artist. You know, with the number of songs you could release, let's say in a year versus the number that you could write in a year. And so, yeah, Julia Michaels all the way. And also Linda Perry, like she's an incredible producer and I would just love to work with a female producer, right? And like she's produced like Pink and like she's just incredible. So that'd be
dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, the people want to know your top 5 artists.
Top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
no
definitely
particular order.
Top 5 artists, no particular order. Fleetwood Mac, definitely is in there. Pink, absolutely. Tegan and Sarah, gonna be in there too. Jan Arden, and Alanis Morissette.
What? Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. I'm big on female artists, if you cannot tell.
Absolutely. That's great, though. That's great.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm still not going to lie, and the guys might hate it. I think some of the most talented artists that we had on here have been females.
Awesome. Yeah.
And, you know, and if they want to tell me I'm wrong, I'd put you guys head to head with them, and then good luck. So that's just my opinion. Well, we have these 5 random questions just to get people to know you a little bit better.
Cool.
Okay, first question. What was your first job ever? Your first paycheck that you ever gotten?
Babysitting. That was yeah.
How old were you?
I started when I was maybe like 12, 13.
See, this is my point. Why are us, when we were 12, we were babysitting? Kids are still, parents today are not even allowed to let their kids are 18 today and they're freaking out about their kids taking the bus or something.
I know, man. I was babysitting. I was changing diapers. I was, making sure that another child was not dying.
Yeah.
Making sure they were going to stay alive till their parent came home. That was it.
So, with that being said, side question. You still like babies? You still like kids now?
I do like kids. I do like kids, but like I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, and COVID has not helped the situation. I'm not so big on like children like coming too close, but I do think they're cute. And
okay, no, I'm just saying you was a babysitter, so you know usually some jobs, you know, they give you post-traumatic stress later on in life. You know what I mean?
Babies.
Some people is like, I don't like kids. You know
Babies
what I
to
mean?
me, I like kids. If they can use the bathroom by themselves, I like them. Till then, they puke on you and poo, and I got a very sensitive stomach.
Well, that's it. It's
They
like
puke, I puke, they poo, I puke. It's not good. It's not going anywhere, right? It's terrible. It's a terrible combination.
exactly. So I would say it's not the best situation for someone who's like super worried about like cooties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, before COVID, this is a true story. I used to go to these kids' birthday parties, and then they would blow their candles like, and they'd be like, "You want a piece of cake?" This is pre-COVID. I used to be like, "Fuck no."
No, thank you.
You want ice cream instead? Yeah, I'll take ice cream. That little kid just sprayed his boogers everywhere.
Absolutely. Actually, one of my like biggest worries during COVID, I was like, oh no, how are people gonna like eat cake ever again at a birthday?
I was doing that way before that, and then people started thinking about it after COVID came around. I'm like, it took that to see what was going on? No.
Same. I have like one of those like keychains that help you like open doors and like press buttons when you're paying it, like I don't know, like on those machines. I've had stuff like that before COVID, and now like people are like, "Oh, that's a cool little gadget you got." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Like,
you guys were calling me weird 3 years ago.
Exactly. I'm just like, I don't want to touch your germs. But yeah, I'm definitely a little bit of a clean freak, a little bit of a germaphobe. But I mean, people learn to love that part about me, I guess. You have no choice.
It is what it is. You know, I used to work for a guy, and he was a big germaphobe. Like you couldn't touch him. Like
Okay.
don't touch him. I worked for this man for almost 10 years, and I don't think I've ever touched him once. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I watched somebody else touch him and watch him freak out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like he's sitting there doing something, and someone, you know, like, to get his attention, like, "Hey, how you doing? Don't fucking touch me!" I'm like, "Whoa, what's wrong with this motherfucking guy?" You know what I mean? But he just didn't like people touching him. You know what I mean? And the worst thing about it is he owned a fucking club. Okay?
Wow.
So imagine this man trying to walk to the bathroom. His office is in one end of the club, the bathroom's on the other end of the club, and he's got to walk through the crowd. Every time he does this, somebody get kicked out of the club. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the bouncer, and I can see him walk in, and he's got that look on his face. And as soon as someone get too close, he looks at me and point at that guy, he got to go. I'm like, dude, you done fucked up. You got too close. You know what I mean? Why are you kicking me out? You got too close. What do you want me to tell you? He's paying the fucking bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll tell
Oh
you.
man, I could totally relate to that. Like I'm good with like hugging people and like I like touch in that way. But if you're at like a club and people are walking past you and they're touching you and they're sweaty, and I'm just like, I can't. I have to leave. I'm like, goodbye.
It's funny you say that because I don't like crowds of people, but I used to DJ and everyone's like, well, that's different. Like, what was the difference? I said, but I was surrounded by a booth.
Or
I
you're
was surrounded-
exactly.
you know, by a booth. I used to stick a bouncer there and be like, don't let them touch me and let me be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No, I
once I used
dig
to
it, I
leave there,
dig it.
like, oh,
Yeah.
Super different. Like if you're the one on stage or whatever, like you don't really you have the whole stage to yourself.
yes,
Practically.
totally different.
Yeah.
So it's totally different. But yeah, like it's funny because as an artist, like you're basically always staring into a sea of crowd, and I'm just like, yeah, like I'm glad that's not me right now. Crowd, I like my space, but like
You up there singing, looking at people going, cooties, 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 cooties. I dig it. So name one thing on your bucket list.
oh, skydiving.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Jesus! Here we go. Another one. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you? Well, no, I'm gonna sound. What's wrong with you people? I'm gonna say it like that. And not being raped.
Bayla.
You people. What's wrong
Bayla.
with you people?
We've probably interviewed 100 people, if not more. It's about over a 90% ratio.
Really,
Is the fucking skydiving.
I should just do it already then. Yeah, like
I should
just-
start a skydiving business with all you guys wanting to skydive. I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just take us one day, take a cut on the yeah, because you know what? There's just something about falling that like is so exhilarating and so scary. You're basically like, okay, I'm dying, right?
You got a roof? Go up there. What's the problem? What are you getting a plane for? Huh? You won't jump off the roof, but you jump out of a plane. See,
Exactly.
something,
Because I don't have
something's
a parachute.
wrong. You know, I don't know. I think you guys' brains is wired wrong. I don't know,
Oh, yeah,
man.
probably.
You
Probably.
know? I shit myself, pee my pants. First, you gotta get me out the fucking plane. It ain't happening. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I mean, my brain is definitely wired wrong. Like, I want to jump out of a plane. But yeah, I feel like
I was gonna put money that you weren't gonna say that. I'm like, she's gonna say something else.
But you know
She's
what?
gonna say something
You know, Joe, I think it's an age thing. You know what I mean? You know,
We're too
yeah,
old now. We know we'll die of a heart attack, right?
We're older. We're close to death, so we're not going to risk it. I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? You young people like, I got some years on me. I'm gonna jump
I'm like,
now.
will my heart sustain the jump? And I don't think so.
You know what?
You're like, pull the chute. I'm like, he's dead already. Like, you know what I mean? Like the heart attack. No, I can't.
Yeah, you might pass out, and then
I'm the guy that screams like the little girl at like Wonderland.
Yeah, I don't even do
I'm
roller
that guy.
coasters. I don't even do roller
I
coasters.
did them
don't
all
like
one time. I did them all one time. It was 4 of us, and I kept hoping one other person would bail.
okay.
And no one was fucking bailing, so I was like, son of a bitch. And there was that one that cranked us all the way up, so we were straight down for like, it felt like it forever, but whatever. And right then and there, I wanted to get off. I wanted to be like, crank it back down and let me off this. But I know it's too goddamn late, right? It's just,
Yeah, but you know what? This is good. That means that your brain is wired right. You know,
See?
like
See?
it's true. It's
I
like
haven't heard
yeah,
that
like,
before, but I'll take it.
it's true. Like I mean, if you think about like human instinct and the way to protect yourself to not die, you're following
it's
just
'cause
that.
As a
right?
kid, I probably did some stuff that I should have died, and I think I'm very happy that the fact that I'm still alive. So now I'm like taking, those cat lives. Like I know I don't have many left, so I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck skydiving.
I think it's an age thing. I think it's an age thing. I think it's an age thing.
No.
You know, you
Possible.
young people, I tell you.
Yeah, you're good.
You
You're good.
know.
But yeah, we'll watch you guys jump, but we ain't going. So,
I'd be down. I think like I'll probably do it in the next couple of years.
damn.
Probably happening soon.
It takes
Good luck.
We just
Wish you well.
yeah.
You know.
We'll interview you before you get on the plane, all right?
Before and after we'll do the video, we'll film it.
I'm
There you
down.
go.
I'm down. Sign me up.
But I
A few
don't
hours
suck
away,
at it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
So give me one word that describes your music style.
I would say, generically it's pop, but like
But
I
it's
would
not.
say it's sing along pop. Sing along.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
sing along pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
different.
I want people to sing along, like that's why like I when some people when they're writing music they're like, no, that's too catchy, or like it's too easy. I'm like, nah, like
Yeah.
we're going catchy, we're going easy, because
Yeah.
like I want someone to hear it for the first time, and by the last chorus I want them to know it.
Do it
Like,
with you. It's the best
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
exactly. So I'm all about the sing along, all about it.
Catchy pop. That's her
Yeah.
thing. That's different. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah,
Because
but
everybody we ask that question have a different answer.
So
Yeah.
we've had a different answer for music style,
Yeah,
but the same goddamn answer for bucket list. I don't get it.
it just happens. I guess
Yeah.
skydiving is kind of predictable.
It's gonna start off with name one thing that's on your bucket list besides skydiving, and that's what the question's gonna turn into.
Okay. Do people want to know your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Juno. Yeah.
Really?
Ooh.
I love it. I just love the humor in it. Like
Funny.
it's just such a well written script, honestly. Like
that's a good one.
it's just like that's just the type of humor I like, and it's very hard to find banter like that between actors and stuff, and it's
No,
just
that's
like
cool.
such an amazing movie. I love it a lot.
Good movie. It was a good movie.
I like that. So besides music, what else do you do for fun?
I do music. No, I do a lot of music, but for fun, I find doing music a lot of fun. So it's part of what I do for fun. But I like to hang out with people that I love. Like friends, family, hang out, eat, share food, cook food, make them eat the food, cook with
man.
them. I like even during like the pandemic and stuff. Like I have a good friend. We like to cook together on like WhatsApp, on video.
Nice.
I like making food and eating food and
Oh.
food. So
Well, I'm going to have to send you my link because I like to cook food and
Bev's
stuff.
the
So,
cook here.
you know,
Yeah.
we get some new recipes and stuff, try new stuff out. I like that. That's fun.
I love
You
it.
know?
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
the pandemic's coming to an end. Everyone's getting
Yeah.
their second vaccination eventually. I heard there's some sort of phony booster shot. I don't know. But eventually this is all going to come to an end. What's next for you?
Releasing new music. I was supposed to release new music. Actually, I had planned to, and then the pandemic happened, so I basically canceled that plan. I was like, I'll just wait.
Yep.
Thinking that like the pandemic wasn't going to last as long, or being, I guess, optimistically hopeful that it wasn't going to. But now I feel like it's been a little bit. It's been a minute. And so next gonna be releasing new music. I actually have an EP almost ready to go. And just I hope everything opens up again soon, because I'm dying to get back on stage. I have my first show that I booked since COVID. I'm actually filming for it's an online festival for Montreal Pride. So I'll be filming that at the end of July, and it's going to be broadcasted on television. I think it's on August 13th or so.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's going to be with no audience, but I'm looking forward to just being able to
Enjoy
play
it.
again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's hopefully what's next.
Sweet.
Some
So
live
I
shows.
want to get people to know where they can find you at. You can find you on Instagram at Bayla Official. You're also Bayla on Spotify and all major streaming platforms, right?
Yep.
And you have a website, www.baylaofficial.com. And all your links are on there, if I'm right.
Yes, everything is there. Everything's at Bayla Official. You can find me wherever.
I love
There
that.
you
You
go.
kept it nice and simple. I like that.
There you go.
That's the way to do it. I don't want to. She was a great artist. She was a great guest, but her name was like Tasha _________. And I said to her, I'm like, I couldn't promote how many underscores you have, and she couldn't stop laughing. She said, keep pressing underscore until you find me.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But you didn't plan that out in the beginning. Bam, you do certain things and then you roll with it, and then you're doing good, and you're like, shit, I screwed up, and you don't want to start over. That felt like it was one of those moments.
I mean, it's like with my email address. I mean, oh shit, I was all of the superheroes back in the day, so I got, a particular name, and now when it comes to business and I'm ready to, reach out to someone, it's like, I can imagine them being on the other side. Who the fuck
But
is
Bam,
that?
you
Blah,
can
blah,
create
blah.
a new email though.
I know, but I'm just saying that when I look at my email, I think this myself now. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, what was I thinking? You know what I mean?
I know. And the transitions. Transition to a new email or like a new phone number, like that's the worst, right? Like it's the worst. So yeah, just for convenience factor, I guess you're sticking with your superhero email address.
For now.
No, he's got to get rid of that thing. He's got to get rid of it.
I'm sticking with it for now. It's only for my bills and little things here and
That's
there.
fine. That's fine. Yes.
But when it comes to the actual music business and stuff like that, reaching out to managers and A&Rs and whatever. Oh, I'm switching shit up. You know what I mean? Big time.
But it's an email. That's easy to do, Bam.
Yeah.
When you have an Instagram with a decent amount of followers, then you're like, ugh. Do I start over? That's where it sucks, right? That's what.
At least they let you change your handle. I mean, I remember Facebook or whatever back in the day, they didn't let you. So it's like if you had like a Facebook fan page, like that's it. Like you're not going to change. So at least Instagram allows you to change.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm keeping both personas. I mean, I got my stage name Bamboo, and that's going to stay the same. Whatever for the fans.
Yeah.
But when it comes to business and record deals and money and this and that, you write that check out to my government name, please. You know what I mean? Because I can't show up at the bank with a Bamboo check. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work, right? So
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Bayla, I want to play your video Monster. Can you tell me more about the song?
Absolutely. It was like this song was actually inspired by some like experiences that I've had as a child being bullied. And I just wanted to take that and just kind of like crumple that up into a paper and then like throw the paper right to the bullies.
Ooh.
And that was the song Monster.
I love it.
Yeah. And so it's just like a self-acceptance song. Just like a good reminder that like we're monster, we're cool, we're awesome. And yeah, I just wanted to like put out some positive, cool vibes. And I had like a lot of fun with the music video. It was like a Toy Story inspired music video where we all kind of like turn into toys and come alive.
Nice.
And like live
Who
some
produces
fun
your
lives.
videos? Because they're good. They're really
So
great.
I always come up with the concepts and like the vision, and then like I'll hire a team to like help make that happen.
That's dope.
So this one in particular was produced by Rubicon in Montreal. And yeah, it was like a lot of fun, crazy fun.
Sweet.
Honestly, I love doing music videos. I'm also like, I like just in general, like a lot of visuals, like I paint and I just like visuals are my thing. And so it's super important to me to like be part of that creation. And for me, it's just as important as the music itself. Yeah.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bayla, I'm so happy to have you on here shooting the
sure.
shit with us. It was been a great time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Don't be shy. You have some new projects coming up. Hit us up. It's easy. It's one link. We can get you on right away. You know what I mean?
Shooting shit with us goes by fast.
Bayla, thank you.
Thanks
so much. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Monster by Bayla.
Tonight we're gonna holler. Okay. You can make it rain, but I can make it pour.